lovely friends, welcome back to Tarot AF. So today I have another pick a card reading for you all on why did you meet this person. I'm really excited about this reading because obviously everybody comes into our life for a reason. They're a lesson, a teaching for us from spirit, from the divine, in order for our evolution and our growth, no matter who they are, no matter how our relationship develops with that person. So whoever you're asking about today, hold them in your mind whilst I'm shuffling the cards, and we will get why they came into your life from spirit, what lesson they've come to teach you. So we have got 4 piles ready and waiting. So we've got pile 1, we've got the Botswana agate crystal. I decided to go for these radiant crystal cards instead of actually putting crystals on the table, something a little bit different. We've got garnet for pile 2. We have got bloodstone for pile 3. And we have got the smoky quartz for pile 4. So if you've never been to a pick a card reading before, hello and welcome. So what you can do, you can take a moment, you can pause the video, you can meditate over it if you need to, see which pile is drawing your eye, trust that one is for you. And what I do is I post the timestamps in the comments section, but also the information box below, so you can skip ahead there to your reading. I will see you all there. Bye. Hello, my lovely friends of pile 1. So if you picked the Botswana agate card, then this reading is going to be for you. So firstly, let's talk about this card. So we've got stability, creativity and soothing, and on the back again, creativity, healing, happiness and protection. And the Botswana agate has a gentle and healing vibration. The layers remind us that we are always building on our life's experience, and it helps us support us emotionally. Its soothing energy helps with depression and anxiety. So, and it's linked to the sacral chakra as well. And I mean, if Gemini and Scorpio, potentially you or that person potentially has those signs, that might be a nice confirmation for you, but it is not necessary if those placements aren't there. But what I really get from this card is I like the word layer and the layers of our experience, and specifically to do with this person developing and helping us transition and move into a next phase. So I don't know when this person maybe found you and entered your life, but it might have been quite tumultuous, and they might have been quite an anchor for you, maybe a source of grounding during that time. But what I want to do firstly, I'm just going to put this to the side down here. I want to grab a tarot deck and shuffle those on camera, and then I've already got your oracle cards ready and waiting, so we're gonna do it that way round. I'm gonna use the Wild Unknown tarot deck for you, pile 1, which I was just intuitively drawn to. So firstly, let's get these shuffled and we will get into your reading. So please hold that person in mind whilst I'm shuffling. It doesn't matter who this person is, what your relationship with this person is currently, whether it's a past relationship, just hold that person in. Could be a friend, could be a partner, could be an ex, could be your current partner. Ooh. We have got Lovers card. So Spirit, why did this person, why did they meet this person? We've got the Magician. Ooh, okay. I've just thrown basically all the tarot cards off the table. We have got the Strength deck here as well. Spirit's been very vocal. I'm just going to go pick those up. Oh, the drama. That's never happened to me in a reading before. That's so funny. Okay, let's keep going. We've got the Strength card. Okay. Very, very vocal today, Spirit. Okay, no, we need one more. Okay, I'm good. Okay. And we've got the World. Okay, holy major arcana. Every single one is a major card. And we've got Death on the back too. Okay, wow. Okay, this is a very powerful relationship and connection that we've got here. Or certainly, like, they're here for a massive reason within your life, even if it's just a chapter. So we've also got the Sea Serpent. We have got It Gets Better. We have got Cauliflower, Transition. And we've also got Rebirth. And I love that, because death card, death, rebirth, in order for us to, when we experience death and that release, it allows rigidness to leave us, any old habits, and allows us to transition into this rebirth, phoenix rising from the ashes energy that I've got here. Okay, where to begin? Because this is I'm rolling up my sleeves, it's really getting dug into it. Pile 1, I love this energy already. So what I want to talk about first, I think, is this Sea Serpent card as well, because it very much links to the Botswana agate crystal that we were just speaking about, in the fact that I think this person allowed you to move your energy along, and allows you to express your emotions or your creativity, or maybe even your sensuality, and wherever maybe there was this stagnation, potentially with this death card here, there was, whether you were resisting the change or whether you were kind of opening your arms to it, it feels like there was something that had maybe that was maybe going through your life, and it felt like there were maybe a lot of roadblocks, or maybe a lot of things slipping away or crumbling. And it feels like this person was really that helping hand, that person that almost put you back together. And maybe they don't even realize the full impacts of their actions. And maybe it was just their steadiness and their grace. And that I'm just seeing an anchor, really. But I think this person, just through who they are, in their self-confidence, and I think they just give the best pep talks in the world. And I think maybe there was this suppression of your emotions or your creativity and how you express yourself, and this person allowed you to open up your heart and realize that you're allowed to pick love, and love is a choice. It's something that you have to continually show up for, and it can bring pain, it can bring torment, it can bring grief, but it can also bring joy and ecstasy. And I think this person, and maybe they were someone that forced you to change, maybe they weren't, maybe they were a catalyst for that, maybe their actions made you think, I don't want to be like this person, or maybe you saw them living in freedom in the way that you wanted to, and you wanted to grasp on. And however this person is in your life or was in your life, they made you bolder, they made you stand up for yourself, and made you go, actually, I am in charge and of defining where I am going and who I am. And I think with that Lovers card, maybe they are a partner in some way. And when I mean partner, it could be business partner, or because it could be contracts or that kind of thing, or it could be a partner in romance, or I mean friends as well. You can be partners in friends, a comrade, and that kind of thing. However that's defined, potentially there's a really, really strong bond there too. But you can be boldly different and stand apart. You can be opposite ends of the spectrum. You can have different views and still embolden each other and challenge each other to be the best versions, to fight your corner and to state what it is you believe and stand proudly in that. So whichever way that is, and I think with the Magician here as well, I think you realised how your perception and how you move your movements, your action is what makes you powerful. Your determination, your courage, your willpower paired with that action is what's going to see you create the world of your dreams, to reach your ambition. And I think this relationship might have found you in quite a turn, maybe quite a they're mentioned in the Botswana agate, anxiety and depression, and maybe you were going through a really dark time. And with the death card as well, potentially a lot of things were, maybe you were losing grip and you were losing your control on things that maybe you weren't ready to let go of yet, or you felt things slowly slipping and you knew that you had to allow those things to go, but you weren't ready to yet. And this person, I feel like, almost shook you, or maybe even gave you the first stepping stone or the opportunity, or that first pep talk, or that realization. Even maybe they were even one of the causes of things feeling like they were slipping. But maybe in hindsight, you're able to remove yourself from that situation and say, actually, they helped me on that greatest transition. They said no, or there was that takeaway so that I could fly. And with this Judgment card, with this dove coming out of here as well, there's this peace, but also this freedom, this breaking out of the box, of maybe the box that you put yourself in, the conventions that you were tied to, the patterns of behavior that maybe you were going through. And with the sea serpent as well, with the Judgment card there, maybe emotional wounds or emotional unconscious trauma, that maybe those patterns that kept repeating themselves, the way that maybe people were speaking to you or suppressing you, and kind of, I want to say pigeonholing you into a box, or saying that you were this. And actually, this relationship allowed you to rise up and go, actually, no, this is who I am. This is my path. I know who I am confident in my abilities, and I'm going to fight for what it is that I want. And you can still have respect for this person, even if they were someone that maybe had pegged you as something and put you in a box. You can still respect who they are and their journey and what their path is. But really, this was, I think, your time to say, to take back the reins, take back control, and say, no, this is who I am. This is my true colours. And I think with this layers as well, going back, you're only scratching the surface, or you're putting your perception of what you think I can do onto me, whereas actually I know I am this, this, and this too. And I think with this Strength card as well, I'm hearing biting tongue. So I don't know whether you maybe had to bite your tongue with this person a couple of times, or maybe this relationship maybe helped soothe you in a way of you realizing that you are your greatest ally and protector. And maybe that's seeing them move through the world and how they react. But I feel like maybe there were times where you maybe, I get this kind of tension relationship in some way, maybe not seeing eye to eye fully all the time. And that, again, that doesn't mean that you don't have respect for them or anything, but I think your vulnerability, and maybe that's to do with your creativity and how you express yourself. And I think they might not have understood you completely, and that can be a sore spot, or that can make you feel very vulnerable when you're bearing yourself to somebody and trying to share your heart, and they don't get it, they don't understand you. It's like it's not lining up. And actually, I feel like you realize that you don't need to be the loudest in the room, you don't need to be the person pushing your agenda all the time. Actually, you can stand strongly in who you are and have complete confidence and be comfortable with your vulnerability and the purity of your ideas, and you don't need to push your agenda onto anybody. You can be a ferocious lion, but you know, and just stand within the crowd. And and do your thing, move through your own movements, without putting yourself onto anybody. And I think this person recognizes your strength and your power, in those situations where maybe other people are pushing their wills and their desires. And actually, by you quietly following your path, doing the work that you know that you're supposed to do, you were able to soothe them and almost be a stable part of a kind of anchor and stability for them too, as much as I think maybe they were as well. And when I mean a stable force, they could just be a consistent person. They could just be the person who has the same routine, the same rigorous routine that is tried and tested. They know who they are. They know what is for them. They have really strong boundaries, and maybe quite strong ideals, and maybe there's that rigidness within them, and actually that can be quite frustrating sometimes. And maybe seeing them being rigid made you feel like, actually, I'm going to allow change to sweep through me when it comes about, because especially if it's bringing me along to this wild card, to my final destination, towards the victory, to the end goal that I see for myself. And I think this person, even if they're just in the periphery now, is somebody that is on your team, definitely has your back, no matter what relationship, no matter what tension is potentially there. I think they are always an advocate for you, and it doesn't matter what you've been through with them. They still want to see you move towards your end goal, towards your success. And with this world card, there is, I mean, like I said, Holy Major Arcana, there's so much. They see you doing major things, being a source of light and a kind of beacon for, I see like visionary and almost futuristic is what I want to say. Like, there's innovation here. There is your way of thinking and the way you express yourself, and whether that's through art, whether that's through business, whatever it is, the way that you walk through the world is something that liberates others and makes other people come along too, and pushes people to be their best version of themselves as well. And I think you learnt that, whether you feel like it or not, from this person. And maybe, like I said, maybe it's because they're the polar opposite to that. Maybe they are quite rigid in their ways. Maybe they're highly successful at what they do, and that's been tried and tested for them, like I said, and they are always going to be that way. And your realization in that, you still respect them, but you realize that there's more for you and there's freedom in what you want to do. Or maybe this person was a sort of mentor, somebody that whispered you along the way, that told you that you could do it, that emboldened you to go further and push yourself, and kind of say, you know, what the hell, like, F it, like, I'm gonna go for that. Maybe that's how they did it. I feel like this is maybe a mentor, somebody at work, or maybe someone slightly older or more mature, or has potentially just gone through something which maybe you were starting, you were on the precipice of it, because you'd gone through this change, because with this death card you had gone through this ending, this massive ending, and so this new thing, this rebirth was coming at you, and it was your time for reinvention. Where do you see yourself going? And this person was almost like a compass, or a point of, this is where I could go, but I'm going to redefine who they are and make myself this. So it's almost like they were an inspiration of a sort, but then you put your own twist on it, and that's the creativity element, which I absolutely love about this pile too. But yeah, I think what I really want to say is that this person, I don't think, with all these major cards as well, I think they are going to be a force in your life for a long time. and whether that is as a mentor or somebody that you aspire to be or to be like, and maybe there's this partnership in the future with this Lovers card as well, potentially like I said, with business, romance, or there's contracts and different things in there as well, but friendship and definitely tying yourselves together in some way. There's this binding, and I really do think with all these major cards as well, there's a soul contract purpose here. There's no coincidence about why this person came into your life. It was definitely spirit-led, as it were. But I think no matter where you are emotionally or creatively, or no matter where you are on your journey, this person is always going to be there like a silent force. There is this protector energy as well. And I think it's almost like a balance, is what I want to say, is that they are almost balancing you out. They're maybe your perfect opposite in some ways. And yeah, I think whatever it was that you were going through, and maybe it was self-judgment or self-loathing or negative self-talk, I think just the way that this person conducts themselves through the world and is maybe one of the things that helped you embrace the change and not see it as something that was going to take away, but something that was actually going to renew and purge and bring about new things. I want to look at the affirmation on this card because I didn't do that. I gently heal and release as I build upon my life. And I think that's beautiful, like a building block. It's not that anything that came before and any of the experiences that maybe left you, it's not that they're not important, because they've actually built you up to who you are. I think it's another thing to your toolbox, is adding to your experience and all the things that you've accrued, and it's not allowing them to rule you moving forward. But yeah, I think this person is much more than a plaster on your heart. I think they're actually like a full-on like needle and stitch, like properly trying to mend and be there, I think, is what I want to say. So yes, my glorious friends of pile 1, I'm going to leave that reading there for you guys today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it resonated with you. But yeah, I think this person is obviously, with all these major cards, in your life for a major reason, and maybe for your higher spiritual path as well, your higher vocational calling, something that you feel drawn to, and they were maybe the alarm bell for you to go, this is what I need to be doing. So keep pushing yourself, keep moving forward to what you know to be right and just for you. Keep being vulnerable, keep being open, and keep knowing that you are a powerful instigator of change with this Magician card. And this rebirth has happened for you for a reason. It's not happening to you. It's not like everything left you and you are rebuilding yourself, but it's so that you pick love. It's so you pick your desire. It's so you pick what it is that your soul calls you to do. So I think it's definitely pushed you onto the path you were meant to tread. So don't be hesitant about it. Grab hold of it. So yes, I'm going to say goodbye. If you'd like to see me again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I'd love to see you there. Until next time, I'm sending all the love. Bye. Hello, my lovely friends of pile 2. So if you picked the garnet, then this reading is going to be for you. So on the top of the garnet card, we've got love, inspiration, and commitment. And on the back is what I want to talk about firstly. So astrological signs linked to garnet are Aquarius, Capricorn, Leo, Virgo. Potentially you or person have those signs or those placements. It might just be a nice confirmation if you do. Do not worry if you don't. But what I really love is this part of the energies, and that's really what we're looking for, the energy, and the energy that this person brings you. Garnet is the stone of enlightenment, bringing vibrancy to the darker times in life. It ignites ideas and inspires fulfillment. It attracts joy and hope while tempering anger and worry. It stimulates willpower and courage, and we've got love, confidence, and emotion. So I think this person came to you at a point in your life, or maybe they knew you a lot, they knew you at one point, and they knew you as one version of yourself, and they were potentially with you, or maybe inspired you or pushed you to grow and maybe seek something that might have been quite unfamiliar, and maybe really make a commitment to that, and for the greater love of yourself. And I think also I am passionate with the love I give and receive. I think this person was you obviously, I think there's obviously this great giving and this way of maybe putting somebody else before yourself too through this relationship, but also I think they were able to give to you, and you were able to receive their strength maybe in a time that maybe was particularly dark for you. But I think there's this hope, which is really the joy and the hope that this person brought you, and this willpower and this courage to push yourself and push yourself further from the box that maybe you'd put yourself in. So I feel like they were definitely someone that stood by you, maybe when other people didn't understand what you were reaching for or what it is that you wanted. And we're going to use this tarot in Wonderland deck, which I picked for this pile, which is quite apt, I think, actually, given Garnet. We've obviously got like the Red Queen and everything, like the Queen of Hearts and stuff in there, but also I think with Alice's adventure down the rabbit hole, kind of coming back, people might not have understood, or passed it off as a daydream and that kind of thing, and you can argue whatever it is, but I think that journey of self-discovery, I think, is really what this person was here to stand by your side for. And maybe they were even a bit of your white rabbit, because we've got White Rabbit and Alice on the back here. Potentially there was this this ticking and this kind of, come on, you're gonna be late, you've got to do it now, and potentially was like, you've been putting off this thing that's been calling to you, it's time to act. Pile 2. That's firstly what I'm just hearing, but let's get the cards. So Spirit, why did pile 1, okay, so we have got the 5 of Cups there first. Why did pile 2, meet this person? Called you guys pile 1. Pile 2, why did pile 2 meet this person? We have got the King of Swords in reverse. We've got the King of Wands. Why did they meet this person? We've got the 8 of Cups. And we've also got the 9 of Swords. Okay. And then in terms, and we've also got the Page of Wands on the back, which I'm just going to stick over there. Hopefully he fits. We have got Stingray. We have got Release. We have got Protection. And we have got Time Out too. Okay. So, firstly, Stingray, we've got water energies here, but we've got a lot of water and fire energy here. So fire being Leo, Sagittarius or Aries, and water, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You or this person might have those placements. Do not worry if you don't. It might just be a nice confirmation. But really what I think I want to speak about is, firstly, is this King of Swords in reverse and then this King of Wands side by side. I think with this King of Swords, I think when I definitely think there was a release, this this toxic thing that you had to get out of your mental, emotional and spiritual body, that this person was present for and was able to maybe help you do and maybe push you to do more of. I feel like there was this real development of self and redefining what it is with this stingray, with this kind of backbone all lit up. It's that development of that backbone, that sense of self, and saying who it is that you are, this confidence, and going after what it is that is calling to you, whether you want to stay in the old and this pattern of behavior. And I think with this King of Swords in reverse, potentially there's a lot of self-judgment, and this also, I want to say, we've obviously got this egg sitting on the wall, and I'm hearing the word fragile, this fragility, and maybe it's just this thing that you've tried to glue together, this life that you've tried to glue together that actually is maybe trying to separate, as if the egg's cracked and you were almost just trying to protect it and keep it together. But actually there was this, I think, with the King of Swords, I think this real negative self-talk about where you are, and maybe this lack of perception to see all of your gifts and all of your talents. And I think alongside that Nine of Swords there as well, whether it was your thoughts that were becoming like a nightmare and like a prison for you, this anxiety, this fear, this despair, or whether, and maybe that was also the words of other people that kind of confirmed your deepest anxieties and fears. I think this person was this source of love and this source of stability, and really maybe made that commitment to you with this garnet, and whatever form this relationship is, maybe commitment as a friend that we're going to do this together, or as a partner, and I think they were with this protection here as well. I'm hearing like warding off as well. So with this onion, I'm thinking about obviously onions making you cry, but also onions have layers, Shrek. But I think they were able to almost, well, I think there's two things, because I said that donkey line. I think they were able to peel back the layer and actually get to the real you, and maybe they were the first person that you reached out to whilst you were in this, or maybe the first person that you really spoke to, and they were almost the ones that were saying like it's a timeout. And obviously we've got that link back to the rabbit as well, like it's your time to like time out of this, like what you're thinking and this mental spiral that you're in. We need to address this, we need to have a timeout from that. And I think also with that protector, someone that is warding off with that onion, obviously making people cry when you're cutting and chopping them. And I think there's that kind of warding off any negative energies and being able to almost like hold you and wrap you and encase you in this almost pod and bubble of love, and just be there, not necessarily say anything, and maybe not use the right words, but be there, be faithful to you, and really help you ignite a new spark. When I think, especially when it felt like a real loss of emotional pleasure, as well as this mental turmoil that you were going through. And I think whatever grief that was that you were experiencing, it's not a step-by-step program. And I think this person understands that and understood that it's going to be something that is going to stay with you. It's a scar that you need to keep addressing and keep moving forward and keep healing. It's something that is going to stay with you, and you have to address it, because otherwise it's going to fester, and it's just going to keep you where you are. And I think if you maybe this was the first person that you reached out to, and they were almost like a safety net or a beacon of light. It's like lost out to sea in this one beacon almost shining. And I think with this time out here, sometimes we're served a massive time out from the universe. And I think maybe this person was the one that said, you can't go on like this anymore. Like, we need to talk. You need to tell me what is going on with you, because once you tell somebody your thoughts, it becomes less of a weight that you yourself are only carrying, and it becomes a shared thing. And I think that maybe this distorted perception that you had about yourself and this negative self-talk, they were able to address with you. And slowly but surely, I think they were able to bring you round to the fact that actually you are so much, you are such a vibrant, fun being. I think with this Page of Wands and also this King of Wands, I think they were able to reignite your creative spark in a way, to almost shake you and go, this is who you are. You're someone that is faithful to yourself. And even if that spark is really, really small, we're going to look at it and we're going to address it together, and we're going to fan it, and we're going to make you feel established in yourself, and we're going to redefine your vision, redefine your goals. And I'm your teammate in this. I'm here to help you. Whatever your dreams are, whatever the big thing, whatever setbacks you've gone through, we're going to release them, and we're going to let go of this toxic energy. And maybe that was people and things and places that weren't serving you. And I think they were able to almost, I'm seeing like a mind map, or like a to-do list, or like a breakdown, pros and cons. And I think they were able to really help you alchemize your life and look at it as a moderator and go, you're drawing too much energy here, here, and here, and this is who you are. This is what you need to be doing, and give you almost that shake up that was required, because not all people, places, and things are meant for you. And I think for as long as they are, I think they serve you for a time, and sometimes that time is the entirety of your life, lifelong friends. Sometimes it's a month, sometimes it's 5 years, whatever that time span is. And I think whatever situation that you're in, you knew emotionally that you had to walk away from it, that you weren't as fulfilled as you were going to be. And it's almost like rinsing that flannel or that towel out. Everything had been drawn out of it, and actually moving on and stepping into the unknown, stepping onto a new path was the right thing to do, and to follow your creative spark and follow your intuition and your instincts, instead of being suppressed by the world or being suppressed by your thoughts and this limitation that you were almost putting on yourself. And I think they were able to almost protect you from your thoughts in a way, and say it's okay. There is a hope on the horizon. We're going to get through this, and we're going to find this new energy. And there's almost this fervent desire to move on, and also to challenge yourself. I think with this stingray, again, moving into the unknown, into the uncomfortable, into the challenge. And, you know, maybe there was a lot of pressure from people around you, maybe family or friends or other people that were telling you not to, were telling you that like maybe they couldn't see the full extent of how it was making you feel, but maybe they were scared for you to step onto a completely new path, or to move away, or to take time out. But this person, I think, was saying that you've already made the decision by having this thought that you need to go. You've already actively made the decision on a path to move away from it. And actually, it's inevitable. Otherwise, it's going to just keep cropping up and surfacing again and again and again. And actually, you can't ignore it. You want to grow. You are eager to move on from this situation. So it's time to stop, and it's time to look, and it's time to go. And I think for some people as well, maybe this person didn't inspire this, or maybe they were the catalyst for this. Maybe they were the person that they had to move on from. Maybe they weren't the person they had to reach out. Maybe that's for some people. For the majority, I think this is still someone that is within their sphere. But potentially for others, this could be someone in a situation which wasn't helping your growth anymore. Maybe you stayed in it for longer than you needed to, and actually you needed to protect your energy from it and put up those boundaries and move on and say, I'm not getting energy from this situation anymore. This is not a give and take. Which obviously on this card it says, I am passionate with the love I give and receive. So potentially for some, it reestablished what it meant for you to give and receive, and actually say, I'm not getting anything from this situation, so actually I need to share my energy elsewhere. So maybe there was a release for some people for that purpose, and helped you maybe almost grow that spine to say, no, this energy isn't for me anymore, and I need to walk away from it. So that might be for some people, but I think for the majority, I think this person was someone that helped. It kind of is an advocate, but obviously you'll know your relationship and how I'm describing it. But there is that too, that maybe this person was the almost someone that held up a mirror for, like, someone whose behavior was so opposite to what you wanted and the energy that you wanted to surround yourself with. So you had to put your boundaries up. You had to close yourself off from it and say, these are values that actually I am detaching from and I no longer want and no longer serve me. And that might have been a really difficult thing to do. And maybe if you were established in that relationship or that connection, maybe that was a really hard thing to walk away from. And people have opinions and thoughts about it, and maybe you felt completely isolated, but actually by stepping away, you were able to become much more of the spark and the passionate person and the optimistic person that you are, finding yourself again, almost finding your feet. And I love that image of the King of Wands and the Page of Wands being the people on their feet, being the people who are standing tall, standing proud, and also very playful and very inquisitive, following that spark and their instincts, knowing that it's time to go. So potentially for some people, this from the universe, this person could be someone that you had to protect yourself from and protect your energy from, and almost say, no, this is the new dawn, this is the new me, this is a new phase of my journey, and you're no longer on it. And maybe there was a tap out, and knowing that, like I said before, that people, places and things may serve you for a time, and that doesn't mean that this person, maybe another time will come about and there'll be a rebirth of this connection for some, and it may be different because people go through changes, just as you have changed since you have been in it. But yes, I think for a lot of people, this person with this Garnet card is someone that did bring vibrancy to darker times, but I can see it the other way. I can see how it may have how for others it could be the latter, what I've just described. But I think either way, I think in both cases, it's allowing you to realize that you're the only person you have to prove yourself to is yourself, and your happiness is fully dependent on you and the boundaries and the values and the energy that you allow within your sphere. And I think this person, for the better or the worse, but really in hindsight, even the worse, it feels like a blessing that you were able to learn these things about yourself, these deeper truths, and make yourself broader, like more confident, and know what is and what isn't for you. Because I think knowing what isn't for you is just important as knowing what is, because we can continue to reach, we can continue to grow, we can continue to redefine those goalposts for what we see for ourselves. And knowing what isn't sometimes is just as important, because we can easily bat things away that we know aren't for us. and we can confidently go. That doesn't mean that that person and that place and that thing doesn't serve someone else, but for me, it's a no. It's a no from me, a Simon Cowell no. But yes, I think this person as well was definitely here for a chapter. They might have only been here for a period of time, or they may only be here for a period of time. If they are someone that maybe, with hindsight, maybe you had to release. But for others who maybe they helped you through a period, a transition of that for your growth, it may be a solidified anchor for you, someone that can only understand the full extent of what you went through because you shared that experience together. So yes, obviously incredibly important, and wherever they are for you now, whatever energy space you're in with this person, there is no doubt that they are incredibly important for you, for that self-development, for that knowledge of self, and knowing your self-worth. So my glorious friends at pile 2, I'm going to leave that reading there for you guys today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I really hope it resonated with you today. If you'd like to see me again, please do hit that subscribe button. I'd love to see you again. Sending all the love. Bye. Hello, my lovely friends of pile 3. So if you picked the Bloodstone card, then this reading is going to be for you. So firstly, let's talk about this Bloodstone card. So we've got grounding, detoxifying, and balance. And on the back, we've got astrological signs, Aries, Libra, and Pisces. So you or this person could have those placements, or could be that zodiac sign. It might be a nice confirmation if you do or they do, but do not take it as that's it, that's the end of this reading. It just might be a nice confirmation. What I'm interested in more is the energies, and Bloodstone is composed of green chalcedony and hematite, creating red spots. This combination creates a powerful healing stone that grounds negative energy and cleanses the body. It enhances creativity and balance, and we've got detoxify, strength, and happiness there too. So I feel like this person, and also I like this, I welcome transformation and intuition into my life. And I feel like this person, it could be someone that you might have had maybe quite a negative experience with, or you needed to cleanse yourself with them at that time in your life. So it could almost be like they have reappeared in a new season of your life, as it were. So maybe they were in season 1 and they forced you, maybe it was quite a negative energy to be around, and through that you were able to enhance actually your own individuality and your own intuition and transform, and actually you were able to come back to them later on, and actually maybe they now bring you great strength and happiness. But or maybe that is just what has come from that, is that actually detoxifying and removing yourself from situations with people like this, or the energy like that at that time, has created a stronger you and a much more happier than you. So that's what I want to also, I'm hearing like how a leopard gets their spots, or like a cheetah gets their spots as well. And I don't know what that expression really is, it's just come to mind. But what I'm hearing is like earning your stripes, like getting your spots. And with this, like you can't, like, the good from the bad. Like you can take, where there's fear and despair and dark, there's also hope and happiness and light. Like it's almost yin yang, like the opposite energy with those Bloodstone there. So it's almost like an experience that was able to with hindsight give you perspective of actually from all situations, even upsetting ones or difficult and challenging ones, there can be good, and there is hope at the bottom of that well, sort of thing. So I want to get your tarot cards. So we're going to use the Friends TV show tarot deck for this pile, for pile 3. I was just intuitively drawn to it there. So let's get shuffling, and we will ask Spirit for why did this person come into your life. So hold that person in your mind whilst I'm shuffling too. And I like this grounding and detoxifying and balance. And again, balance, there's that yin yang energy there. And in both, you know, those eyes of yin and yang, there's that little eye too, which, you know, you can't take from the bad from the good and the good from the bad. So Spirit, why did this person come into pile 3's life? Why? Or maybe they were your hope during a dark time as well. So we'll get some more cards, obviously, to explore this further. So Spirit, why did this person come into pile 3's life? Why did they meet this person? Why did pile 3 meet this person? Okay, so we've got the Devil. Why did they meet this person? We've got the Queen of Swords. We have got the Hermit. We have got the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, and we've got the 8 of Wands as well. And on the back, we've got the 2 of Swords. Okay, and then in terms of Oracle cards, we have got Lizard. We have got Fear. We have got Hope, Daffodil, and we have got Karmic Completion as well. Okay, so this is definitely a lesson. I feel like this person's energy may not be in your life currently. It may not be someone that you currently surround yourself with, but that doesn't mean that they might not come back as another lesson. And obviously, any distance in time that we have from people change. They go through experiences that change them, and they have to react. And, you know, even if they follow unconscious patterns of behavior and they still react in the same way, they're still developing and growing with each day, as you are. And so I feel like with this 10, with this karmic completion, is what I want to speak about first. I think this person, this lesson that you have learned, you have now learned it. You shut the door on this lesson, and you're not going to be asked to repeat it from Spirit. So it's whatever this person's purpose was at that time. This lesson is not going to crop up again and again and again, because you took the time to address that. And I think with this 2 of Swords as well, it was a really mind and heart conversation, and almost a pulling apart, that you could either stay on the trajectory that you were, the path that you were going down, that old way, or you could carve out something new and take a stand and almost go down this new direction where your intuition was guiding you. And I think really what this person taught you was there is actually no fear in taking a step back and drawing back your energy in towards your center, and actually that detaching from people, places and things that don't serve you, that bring up fear, that potentially make you feel judged, or which make you feel like you're harsh on yourself, is sometimes the best thing for you. With this Queen of Swords energy, well, I heard Regina George, but I heard like Mean Girls, and I don't want to say that's not gender specific. That's the film, and I don't want to say that this is what this person was, but potentially they could have been an influence where they may have knowingly or unknowingly brought a lot of fear to you, and maybe had been quite harsh or critical or judgmental, and they have the real ability with this Queen of Swords energy. With swords, it could be a air sign. They don't have to be Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, and they may have those placements, but with this Queen of Swords, the energy of the Queen of Swords, they have this ability where they can either go, let's make a plan, and they can be really perceptive and have a great view on things and a really great take, but also there is this harshness and maybe bluntness, and they are someone that know their words and almost know how much weight their words hold. And I don't want to, Monica Geller is obviously the Queen of Swords in this depiction, and I don't want to say that that's Monica Geller, because I don't think Monica Geller does prescribe to that, but I think they have this ability to, there's a lot of freedom in their words. And maybe with this devil card here, I'm not saying that they are the literal devil, but what I think is that they actually cast this great illusion, and maybe they make you think and feel a certain way, and actually maybe they make you feel like you need to chase things that you wouldn't ordinarily chase. They were maybe that it's almost like the devil on the shoulder telling you that, oh, you should maybe go down that path, or you should do this, you're really good at this. And it's almost that, and like I said, maybe they did it unknowingly, but it was potentially dragging you away from yourself, from your inner artist and your truest self, and actually maybe bringing up a lot of fear, because it didn't feel like, it almost felt like you were living in this illusionary bubble, chasing things, materialistic things that weren't you, that didn't make you feel you. And actually you feel like you strayed so far from the path, from where you thought you were going. And you maybe lost sight of your intuition and actually what it was to be on your own and to listen to your own self. And it's almost like that temptation. And maybe this person was a bit of a temptation for you, a dipping the toe in the water of like, this is what I could be. And with this Six of Pentacles here, I think this person, there's the necessity for give and take in all relationships, and potentially this person could have been perceived as quite a generous, giving person, and potentially brought you into their sphere, or was quite generous with their time, their energy, and their resources. But actually, potentially after that point, maybe it started to go that you were giving too much of your time, too much of your energy, too much of your resources to this person, and actually not receiving enough back. And maybe there was this almost relationship of giving that needed to be addressed, and what it meant to be, whether it was your ego's attachment to giving, or whether you actually felt genuine enjoyment from it. But I think with that Six of Pentacles, there was almost definitely a power situation, a power distribution of who was giving what when. And I think with the Eight of Wands, this might have come to quite an abrupt ending, or potentially it's almost hurtling towards that point now, if this is a situation maybe that you feel like you are in currently. But what I think is interesting about the Eight of Wands, which I've not necessarily ever looked at in this deck before, is that there's obviously two cups on this table, but no people sitting at that table. And for me, it feels like it's almost like I'm hearing empty conversation, or that like the time of the partnership or the connectivity that was maybe that there was a give and take relationship. Maybe it was really good at a time, and it felt like there was this ease and this feeling that you were quite aligned in some way. But actually, I think it's almost like the two people have checked out, maybe, and actually maybe everything's coming to a head, or maybe there hasn't been news or information from this person for a time, and it feels like they might be quite absent from you currently. But I think with the Eight of Wands, I'm hearing all's well that ends well, and anything that ends, you know, that with this karmic completion there as well, ends well. With hindsight, can end well, that there is a reason that there is an ending potentially, and there can be almost that hope, that new spring that comes from that, and that new learning that comes from that. But let's talk about Lizard, because we've not spoken about Lizard yet. So Lizard is fire energy, Leo, Sagittarius or Aries, so you or that person may have those placements as well. But I think the energy that this person gave you, and it links very much to the Hermit here, which is why I want to talk about it now, because I kind of skipped over the Hermit as I was going through, is that sometimes it's important to pull back your energy and draw back, especially when you're feeling fear, or when you feel like you're shrouded in darkness. That's when and you feel like maybe the moths are descending on your flame, and and almost dampening you, and you're finding it more difficult to listen to the subtle energies at play, listening to spirit or the universe, or just your own instincts. Especially if you are a real instinctual person, you might have felt drained or overstimulated. And I think this person potentially at that time is making you feel quite elusive or flaky or non-committal, because maybe you are making up reasons not to hang out with this person, or maybe you did do that. And actually, by pulling back, by withdrawing inwards, you're able to listen to your inner flame, to that hope, to that intuition, to that instinct. And where there's that love and that fanning of that creative voice, fear can't live. And I think with this bloodstone here as well, with this detoxifying and this grounding, I think there are always going to be devils. There are always going to be things that tempt us. There are always going to be things that may, like we might dip our toe or stray a little bit from the path. There may be obstacles or things that we think, actually, maybe that's my path. Maybe that's where I'm supposed to be going. And actually, if we're not checking in with ourselves, if we're not withdrawing and taking back our power and coming back into ourselves and using silence and non-action to listen to that invaluable wisdom that we all have within us, it can be really difficult sometimes. And I think the Hermit here, that withdrawing that maybe that you are doing or have done, it is allowing you to take back your power and not drawing your energy to external matters, but focusing it where it matters most. And I think that's so important in this karmic completion cycle, is always to return back to you. And maybe that was it. Maybe it was full circle, that actually maybe you felt like you strayed away from yourself and the identity and who you wanted to be, or who you know you are. And actually, it's always going to come back to you. Bring it all back to you. What's that? Don't stop, never give up, hold your head high and reach to the top. Bring it all back to you. Bring it all back now. S Club, yes. So S Club 7. But yeah, sorry, little tangent there. But yeah, I think with that Hermit, it's almost like coming home. And I think you are an incredibly instinctual person, and very sensitive to spirit and the subtle, and also your sense of self. Potentially you do a lot of meditation, or potentially you trust yourself a lot of the time. And maybe around these certain voices, or around this energy, it was much more difficult to pour your energy and your time and your resources towards the things that you wanted to do. And I think you are now manifesting exactly what it is that you are supposed to be doing, but also finding that balance, being able to moderate yourself and keep checking in. It's that returning to yourself for each decision and going, okay, is this obligation, is this task, is this person drawing too much of my energy? Am I losing myself in this, or is this me? And it's not saying that you have to withdraw completely from a relationship or a task or an obligation, but it's just saying, am I getting back as much as I'm putting in here? And I think it's such an amazing gift to have, and it can really feel like it weighs you down, but actually that is an act of self-love by committing to yourself and saying, I'm always going to choose myself and my path above anything else. And that helps dispel the fear, because you know what is for you and what isn't for you. And it's, I think with this karmic completion as well, it's something that you will always now know. You will, and it sounds like such a simple thing to say, that you are the most important. Your opinion of yourself and your view of yourself and where you are going is, your opinion about that stuff is the most important opinion in any room, in any place. You need to be happy within yourself, happy within your path, and happy within your choices, because you are making those choices. And I think with this affirmation here, I welcome transformation and intuition into my life. I think your intuition is obviously led by this hermit's flashlight in this case, but within this kind of beacon that you send out into the world. And when you are shining brightly, when you are vibrating at that level of this is who I am, you attract the right people, the right energy towards you, and that strengthens you, that community. And so potentially this was someone that served you for a time and doesn't now, but they may have brought you a lot of things. With this Queen of Swords, they might have helped you made plans. They may have helped you in the way that they move through the world and look at things, and their perspective on things maybe gave you a shift and a shake-up that you needed in some ways, or maybe it helped you with that attachment to giving and taking, and how you draw your energy. But I think with this service sign pointing that way, I feel like the service that they brought you was in the past. But for some people, if you feel like you're still in that energy, it may not be like that. But, and also I'm hearing drawing blood from a stone, and obviously because of the bloodstone, and it's hard now because of that karmic completion, to separate the experience that maybe you had with this person from the image that you have maybe of this, like maybe if you were to meet this person again, it's hard to draw away from that conclusion, or from that ending that maybe that happened in this way. But like I said, people change, and this person is growing and evolving and may have learned as much from you as you have from them. But also with that drawing blood from the stone, you are not going to be separated from this experience now. So if you're worried that you're going to meet this energy again, or feel like you're going to be thrown back into that fear space, or the space of being tempted, you've learned that lesson. Trust yourself that you have taken that on board, and in the future, if you keep checking in with yourself, you'll be able to identify when a situation feels like you're falling into an old pattern. And that's almost your survival technique. You carry all your experiences with you, but they don't rule you moving forward. And you might not know all the steps of the journey ahead and where that's going to take you, but your light, that intuition, that flame inside of you, will guide enough in front of your path, will shine further enough that you can take it one step at a time. And yeah, there is nothing wrong with taking that time to be alone with your thoughts. And I think in all situations there is hope. There is always hope. There is a hope that will be better and do better next time. And I think this person has shown you that in a lot of ways, and just grounded you within yourself again. And you don't need to be torn or feel unbalanced anymore, because with that mind and heart connection, you're just going to listen to your intuition. You're going to listen to your heart and know that staying in a stagnant place, or there's a reason that those two things are intersect. If you're at a signpost, you're going to choose. You're going to pick and make a choice, because you can't avoid it. It's something that is going to keep cropping up. And maybe that's something this person has shown you as well. Like, you have to go inside yourself and make the decisions for you. And if you choose incorrectly, Spirit's going to keep bringing it up for you. And so you're always going to be brought back, and always going to get that kind of throwback to check in with yourself, to go into that hermit mode. The universe will offer you a timeout if they feel like you need it, if you need checking in with. Showing you signs, showing you stop signs. It's like that thing, like, you know, when you're driving and you think you're gonna be late or whatever, and you get all those stop signs because you believe it, and it's almost that Spirit, you already know instinctually something that's not right for you, and so things are going to continually crop up that are going to prove that. So Spirit is always going to be there, always has your back, and this, I think, experience shows you that too. Yeah. And also hope with daffodil. I'm hearing Wales because daffodil is the Welsh, Wales, W-A-L-E-S, but maybe like whales, orcas, killer whales, that kind of thing, and you know, whale song, stuff like that. I don't know if that resonates with anybody, but if it does, brilliant. If it doesn't, please throw that away. That was just something I heard. But also with the whale card in this animal spirit deck, it's somebody, obviously there's that wisdom, there's that you know, largest animal on earth sort of thing. And I've lost my trail. But also they can get stuck in the old song. They can get stuck in their ways, and it can be quite hard to unstick that. So I just heard that with hope, that actually even the most rigid thinker or a way that you viewed someone can change. So that was just food for thought right at the end there. So yes, my lovely friends of Pile 3, I'm going to leave that reading there for you guys today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I hope it resonated with you. I hope some of the advice thrown in there as well was also useful. If you'd like to see me again, please do hit that subscribe button. Until next time, I'm sending all the love. Bye. Hello lovely friends of Pile 4. So if you picked the Smoky Quartz card, then this reading is going to be for you. So firstly, we've got clearing, grounding and transformation on this card. We've got astrological signs linked to Scorpio, Sagittarius and Capricorn. This person or you may have those placements, but do not fear if that is not the case. It might just be a nice confirmation if they do, but I'm much more interested in the energies here. So Smoky Quartz grounds us to the earth, Earth's energies working with our root chakra. It absorbs negative energy and expands our consciousness. It helps to disperse anxiety and draws in calm energy. When I am grounded, I can boundlessly expand and grow protection and friendship. So what I feel like this smoky quartz, what I'm drawn to specifically is this expansion of consciousness, but also allowing this stone allowing us to absorb negative energy and actually clearing the smoke out of the room is what I'm hearing. Obviously it's smoky quartz, and dispersing that anxiety and drawing in something new, which is already within you. That calmness is already within you, but actually maybe something externally needed to happen in order to usher in this calm. And I feel like this might be somebody that forced you to let go in some way, or maybe having to let go of the relationship, and maybe this relationship altered or changed, and maybe that was quite a hard thing and transformed in a different way, and actually you had to find grounding and strength within yourself whilst this was clearing, whilst this energy was clearing, and maybe that was quite a difficult thing to leave. But let's go with this tarot here. Okay. We have got the Three of Swords first. So Spirit, why did this person come into Pile 4 life? Why did they meet this person? Why did Pile 4 meet this person? Why did pile 4 meet this person? I'm hearing the first cut is the deepest. Okay, yeah. The first cut is the deepest. I feel like for some people this could be a first love, or maybe a first great love potentially. Or this person could have been associated with that if it was more of a thing, a journey, and a creative. I'm just going to keep shuffling because there was a lot. Okay, and King of Pentacles again. There, and we've got the King of Wands on the back of the deck. There we go. That's so funny that I said King of Pentacles again. I don't know why again came out. That's really funny. I don't know if you've maybe you've watched one of my videos, or maybe you've watched other people's tarot videos, or been to a tarot reader before, and maybe the King of Pentacles has popped out for you, which is in relation to this person potentially. King of Pentacles, they could be Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. They don't have to have those placements, like I said, or they might have them somewhere in their chart. But yeah, that's so funny. It was almost like an eye roll thing, like again with the King of Pentacles. We've got bat energy, we have got change, we have got continuance, we have got love. Okay. So when I said first cut is the deepest, and then the Two of Cups came out, and then also with this love card here, I feel like this could be a first love, or maybe a love that really, I mean, I think all love transforms and shapes you, all kinds of love, all people and things. But I think this might have been a romantic connection potentially, for some, and for others maybe it was friendship. But I think with this love card, this love, I'm hearing love relationship, and I think this was potentially the first real hurt as well when it came to love, or one of the greatest. We've got, because obviously your experience is going to be different for everyone, but with the Three of Swords here, I think it ended in you having you feeling like your heart being torn apart, and it was held together by just these small stitches. Like it feels like you didn't even know what was going to help you get through this, because it feels like this person was your teammate. And maybe with the Three of Pentacles here, they could have been within your workplace, or helping you achieve a particular goal or ambition or something. Because with this King of Pentacles energy, obviously Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, like I've already said, but they were potentially someone that invested in you, and maybe invested in friendship, and maybe there was a relationship change in some way, or I just think I think also with this wolf, maybe they were a bit of a lone wolf, and so they had this almost lone wolf energy where they didn't need anybody to help them or support them. But then also wolf are pack animals, so it's that duality. And actually maybe you were part of their tribe and part of their pack, and actually they did really care, and they did want to invest time and energy into you, but they were really established, I think, within themselves, or they certainly seemed that within themselves, and what they were wanting to do and grow. But I think with this Two of Cups, I think there was an initial spark and attraction here. I think it was a really healing and reassuring connection, and with this continuance as well, I feel like it's a relationship that I think had so many layers and so many depths. So maybe it evolved and it changed so often, and helped you grow and helped you learn in so many ways. And so maybe it started as friendship, or maybe just work colleagues if it was in a workplace scenario, and you know, and that's how it started, and then it became much more friends, and then maybe it became more than friends, or there was the hope for more. But I think with this Nine of Wands, there is definitely this guard up. There's something protecting. And actually, I think this person, I think, maybe made you realize your own passions and your sparks, and actually your your dependence on yourself and the strength within yourself, because 9 of Wands is the strength card, but also not to, if someone is guarded, maybe to not keep putting your energy there, is what I'm hearing for some people. Maybe this person was so stuck in their ways, or stuck in their ways of doing it, that it almost felt like it dampened your light in some way. And I think with this King of Wands energy here as well, we've got this lion in the background, and you know, with the King of Wands, Leo, Sagittarius or Aries energy potentially, but then we've also got that as well, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But I think you were able to almost establish your own, like, trust your instincts. And I think maybe this was a situation which you didn't do that. Maybe your instincts were telling you something, that maybe this wasn't for you, or this isn't going to maybe go in the way that you hoped, and maybe you're going to get hurt in this potentially. Or maybe it's not a love situation. Maybe you felt blinded by your feelings, or maybe you suppressed your feelings. But with the 3 of Swords, it feels like there's this betrayal, or this lies, or certainly like words that felt like they made you feel small, or just tore you apart. And maybe that was a no, maybe that was a rejection for some. But I think this person, I think, taught you how to love, but also how to have the greatest love of all, which is that love of self, and actually grounded you and transformed you in that way. And actually, it's all, I'm hearing that line from Mean Girls, when you get it came to me in another reading as well that I did the other week. That's so funny. I've not seen Mean Girls, and it came up earlier in another pile. Maybe I need to watch that, I don't know. But when snake bites, you have to suck all the poison out, is essentially, those aren't the exact words, but it feels like when you've been bit by the love bug sort of thing, it might not be the love that is for you at that time that best serves you. And sometimes you've got to draw out, you've got to suck out that energy, and realize that that person might not have been for you at that time. And I think with this bat energy, which is what I want to speak about now, is that in the light of day, it might have seemed like one thing, and in the darkness where this bat comes alive, and your intuition, it might have been another. And it's actually like, so obviously the bat waits for the moon to rise to emerge, and can see things in those invisible hours, can see things outside. And actually with this High Priestess here underneath this King of Wands too, I think it allowed you to tap into your intuition a lot more, and maybe develop your subtle senses, and maybe your connection to the divine, and that voice within, that invaluable wisdom, because everything you could ever have, want or need is already inside of you. And I think with that 9 of Wands, potentially you even suppress your spark, or suppress, like, dim to fit in, is what I'm hearing. Maybe changed aspects of yourself, or didn't display yourself fully, and hid yourself from this person in some ways, because maybe you didn't feel like they would accept you in that sense. But I think there are some things within this relationship that maybe really helped you prosper. Maybe their time, energy, and the way that they were great things. Maybe they were I'm hearing quite fun loving, or maybe just had a view of the world. But maybe there's other things that didn't serve your energy and needed to fade away from you. And it feels like there was an end of a chapter, especially with this back card here. This need to let go, and this need to have this close in order for a rebirth. And that's what change is, ridding yourself of the rigidness of the past to allow something new in. And I think with this continuance, it's almost, I'm hearing like Obla Da, the Beatles song. And in that it says, life goes on, brah, la 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 la, life goes on. And I think maybe there's been a lot of distance and a lot of time from this relationship, or maybe you still feel like you're in the throngs of it, but you know, and I think what this has taught you is that you are going to be more than okay, and you can trust yourself and your connection with the divine and all of those things. You should not doubt yourself and your ability to love, or your capacity for love. I think if anything, it showed you how deep you can do that, and maybe it was just for the wrong person or at the wrong time. And I think with the Three of Swords as well, is feeling every single emotion that comes. And you don't have to accept it right away. You will come to a point of acceptance with it, but refusing to let go, or refusing to address the swords in the room, refusing to address the words, the hurt, the pain, the grief, the betrayal, that is only going to fester that wound. And I think the importance of the Three of Swords is embracing this full spectrum of human emotion, and even in that fear of having to go through that, even through that darkness, you know that it's always going to be you that gets you through. And that love for yourself is actually the greatest love of your life, and the greatest love of all. And that is something that is always going to continue to grow. And I kind of skipped over the Three of Pentacles a little bit, because I said maybe this was someone that you met at work, or was making a goal, or kind of ambition with, or something like that. And you may have been teammates at one point. You may have thought, we're going to move mountains together, or we're going to do this. And maybe it took a while to let this person in, even a little bit. And so the fact that this betrayal happened, or this pain happened, of course that's going to take time. Of course it's going to take time to ground yourself and allow that smoky quartz to do all the things that it needs to do to draw it out. But the most important thing about change is your reaction to it. And I think maybe when there was that realization that you weren't getting the same energy from this person that you needed, or you deserved, or you wanted, or there was this change of relationship that I think maybe startled you, is what I'm hearing. There is that reliance on self, and actually that realization that your dreams are the most important dreams, your goals and your aspirations, and actually being fully established in your intuition it's not a negative. Because I think the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands, I mean, the King of Pentacles being within the sensual world, between in the materialistic and that way of goals and inspirations and stuff, and King of Wands being much more intuitive, and still big plans and visions, but they approach things in a completely different way. And I think there's a lot to learn, but you are both established in your way of being. It could have been a great partnership, but at that time, and at the time that maybe you met, it wasn't for you at that point. And I think there is a coming together, and there is, almost filling up with each other's cups. A lot of things were gained from this relationship, a lot of positivity, but that doesn't mean that it's going to continue to bring that. Sometimes it only serves us for a moment in time, or for our development. And I think that's what really Spirit is saying, is things can change. And I think this was maybe your first I don't want to say first, actually. That's quite belittling. I don't want to say that. This might have been your the realization that actually, people or things can be fickle in your life, and actually may not stay as long as you want them to, and others will with this continuance. But that energy of what was, and maybe that's reminiscing a bit, and maybe it's quite hard, but the energy, what energy you deserve. And if that energy changes, therefore when you need to step away, or you need to reevaluate what it is you need. And I just want to go back to the affirmation: when I'm grounded, I can boundlessly expand and grow. And maybe this person made you feel unsteady. Maybe when the energy changed in the room, or the relationship changed, or when this pain and conflict was happening within the Three of Swords, there might have been a lot of negative energy, but actually an anxiety that maybe came about. But now I think with this protection and friendship, whatever relationship this person was to you, I think now you can see it as almost like a great friend, this relationship, that actually it was one that fostered you realizing that you are the most important in terms of your passions and your desires should not be dimmed at all to fit in, and actually you should be authentically you always, and you can share your love, share your passions, but also if you want to say how you feel, you should be able to do that, and you should be able to express yourself. And maybe that's what you did, and maybe there was that rejection or something like that. For some people, maybe that's what happened and that changed the relationship. Or for others, maybe they suppressed their feelings and didn't say what they were thinking or feeling, and it was a what if kind of remorse at that fact. But I think I'm hearing obla di obla da, life goes on again with this continuance here. There are always cycles, there was always change, and I think this was a different kind of love, maybe a love that you hadn't experienced at that time to that degree. And actually, whichever way it found you, I don't think it is a what if to you now, or with hindsight, I don't think it will feel like that. I think actually it's saying, thank God that happened, because it taught me that I should always stand up for myself, and I should always say what it is I'm thinking and feeling, but also check in with myself and not let myself be distorted potentially by other people's words or their generosity or their actions. The energy of the situation is always the most important thing, because words, thoughts, actions can all lie, but energy doesn't. And I think the subtle is the most important thing here, this relationship to the divine, and drawing out that fear and that anxiety, and choosing love each time, because I think it's almost like that the pain and the heartbreak and the fear was almost the worst enemy to this, because you weren't allowing yourself to shine as brightly as you do, and drawing that love firstly towards yourself helps you be that beacon. So yeah, with this High Priestess as well, I don't know if you have your own practice, or maybe you read tarot yourself too, or have a gift in that way, or just are sensitive to those energies, but I think it helped you be in tune and help you listen to that voice, listen to your higher self, and I think I'm hearing very fruitful for you. A lot, I think a lot of lessons. I think you're going to keep learning from this situation. You're going to keep rediscovering. It's almost like a chapter of a book that is closed. It's like this chapter of my life is done, but I'm actually still realizing things about myself from it. So even though you've moved on and you've changed, you can still look back with love and acceptance and say, okay, how would I adjust this? How would I do this in the future? How would I adapt now? And yeah, I think it made you a great believer in change too. Like, obviously the most important thing about change, like I said already, is your reaction to it. And I think you're so much more embracing of change when it happens. And maybe the change that took place took you so by surprise, pulled the rug from under you, that maybe it took you a long time to get back up again, but you did, and you've continued to grow and learn and ground yourself even in this great clearing. And I think there's so much strength within, and maybe on your journey to love as well, no matter where you are. I think this has only made you stronger and made you ready for any eventuality. And actually, I think with the Nine of Wands, it's so close to completion. Like you're almost fully at terms with it, and maybe more than you ever thought you would be, because you've brought love towards yourself as well. But I do want to say with that Two of Cups, the card of reciprocation as well, knowing that reciprocated energy is the most important thing as well. And again, it's that energy thing. It's the energy vibe. It's what we're all talking about, what the kids are calling. But I think having somebody or other people who reciprocate your energy give you as much as you give them, and I think that's the most important thing, and that's where you can continue to reap the rewards, is when it's two people meeting in the middle, but knowing that there's different goals and ambitions that they're going for, and that's not a hindrance to the relationship. If anything, that helps you to grow even more, those experiences that you get to share and you get to grow. And I think it should be it's like, meet me halfway, meet me in the middle. And who's to say this person won't come back into your life, or isn't still in your life maybe, and maybe there's been another change of the relationship, and maybe there will be continuing, and maybe there is more to reap from it. It might just have been at that time, and with that continuance card, who's to say they're not a feature? Maybe that chapter has closed and there's a new chapter on the horizon, and it's helping you to realize that you can bring love into any situation, no matter what pain or something someone puts you through. You realize that people change just as you have changed, and that allows you to see people new with fresh eyes, and be curious about who they are now and how they've changed, and allow people to show you the energy of who they are now. If you were to be judged by your 12-year-old's vision and hopes and dreams for the world, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with your 12-year-old self, but you've got very different views and visions and dreams for yourself, and also what you think and feel about things. So yeah, I think this person may always be a little bit of a question mark, a little bit of an enigma, but they might surprise you just yet. You might feel like this, I think they've opened up a lot for you of this exploration within yourself, and this transformation of yourself, and this connection to the divine for a lot of people maybe. But I think, who's to say this relationship won't change? And I think with this, it's almost like a maze for me here, or like this eye of the storm. I think change may have its eye on you and this person, and you never know how this person will continue to let you grow and expand. So be open to love. And that can just be like the love of friendship. Maybe that's all that you would allow this person to be in your life now, and that's absolutely fine. You know the values and the energy that you deserve, and the reciprocation required in any partnership. So that's the most important thing. So my glorious friends pile 4, I'm going to leave that reading there for you guys today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I loved reading your cards today. If you'd like to see me again, please do hit that subscribe button. Until next time, I'm sending all the love. Bye.